All right. Let's see if this worked. Yes, sir. We are live. Let me get these posts up. Get these people in here. Carter's having a great time. And he will be in. He will be in soon. Just a sec, y'all. If you're joining, what's up? Yes, there we go. Let's share this. Just a sec. Okay, we're good to go. Gosh dang, miss typo. There we go. Let me get the retweets. You know how it goes. And we'll be in here. What's up, fellas? What is up? And we're live. All right. What's going on, gang? Big time BYU win. Listen, has there been better wins in my life in BYU's history? Absolutely. It's a win. It's the first game of the season, and it's a win. What's up? Welcome in. If you're wondering where Carter is, he's going to join shortly. I'm running a little bit solo tonight, but I guess what? I can answer questions too. And once we get Carter in here, we'll really dive into it. But just taking it easy for a sec. Let everyone hop in. Jump on in the live, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Not Instagram. Don't know why I said that. And hop in this chat. Looks like we got some already. Love to see it. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? Got a guy, Jackson. What's up, Jackson? Jackson, you need to get my jokes on Twitter a little bit more, man. You chirping after the Nebraska game. And I'm just kidding. I know you get my jokes. He says, Jackson on Twitter says, let's go, fellas. Can't stay in tonight. Oh, well, thanks for popping in. But just have to say, I'm so glad hoops are back. You can see where this team settles in a little and wins a game like this by 20. Let's go. Yeah, absolutely. And appreciate you hopping in, Jackson. Well, first time, long time guy. And I think he's absolutely right. Like, at the end of the day, you missed a lot of layups, tons of bunnies, didn't shoot well from three, missed up an absurd amount of free throws, and they still come away with the win in Vegas. They weathered a big time performance from Villanova's 3-point line in the second half. There, they overcame rebounding issues. They overcame a couple questionable calls, whatever you want to call it, and a win's a win. I think that seems like the sentiment. Let's get in the chat here. Alex, some man says a win's a win, but holy moly, so many missed shots. Yeah, it was honestly, yeah, it was bad. I mean, you could take a look here on the box score, right? Only under 40% from the field is not good at all. In fact, it's like almost panic time. The fact that you win a game like this is huge. I mean, Richie Saunders and Rob Wright combined, they go 9 of 29 from the field. And it's not like they were chucking up bad shots. I really liked all of their looks. There wasn't one where I was like, that's not my favorite. It just didn't fall. I mean, Rob still had some big time buckets, some obviously big time passes. Richie did too, and some clutch moments that weren't falling, right? And you got to be better. I mean, you got to hit 2-footers. Nathan, what's up? What's up, big dog? Says, "Are we a little overrated? Maybe. Are we going to be insanely fun to watch this season? Absolutely." Yeah, I think that's I think it's a fair take. I think it's also super early to say. Um, I think the truth of it is, we'll look back on this in March and we'll either be like, that was a sign of things to come, or we'll be like, oh man, that was really just a first jittery type of game. That's really the only two options going into the season. But I have to agree with what Jack said earlier on the Twitter live chat. This is a game that BYU normally wins by 20 if they're settled in, if they're shooting normal, and if they're playing like we know that they can play. That being said, you got to play like you can play. You almost let this one fall, let this one slip, and it would have been a bad loss. I have a ton of respect for Villanova. I think they're coached like super well, and I think that they had a lot of fire there in the second half, and they didn't back down from BYU or from number one recruit. I'm sure they heard all the crap. I mean, the broadcast was kind of insane. I mean, it's kind of fun to hear it from a BYU perspective, right? Something that we've never really got to experience as fans, like all the AJ stuff, right? And all the, being number 8 in the preseason, all this stuff. They didn't, Villanova didn't back down at all. And I think they played honestly a really good game. They couldn't shoot a single thing in the first half. The second half, well, they still missed some big shots and big moments, but they definitely came to play. So, and we are going to be insanely fun. You're absolutely right. Christopher, what's up, dog? That defense on the stretch was money. It was also fun to see AJ and Rob get downhill and score in crunch time. Yeah, I agree. The defense, obviously, the first two exhibition games, the big talking point there was the lack of defense. I thought the defense today as a whole, like, really good. I give it like a B plus. I think there's obviously some rotations that should have been better, but when they really needed it, it was locked down. It was incredible. I the switches, the closeouts, the coverages by all these guys, especially Moo Davis was awesome. Rob was just fighting through screens. Kaba obviously does Kaba stuff, and when Carter gets here, we'll have a whole gushing session about Kaba Kata, as you all know. It was everything you wanted to see improvement on this team that we've talked about, and that we were upset about, whatever was going on. Uh, Yeah, they're so back. And yeah, getting AJ and Rob in the paint, man. I mean, those are your best shots. That's your Foose baby hook right there. Like that is what you want to see all the time, right? And in crunch time, they delivered, man. And that's a lot of due to, I think I give Kaba again his flowers there. Because the ball screen down to, the screening the helper is, I mean, it's money, and he was executing it perfectly, and he was there for cleanups, right? Rob misses that one. He gets a tip back to take the lead back there in a crucial moment when Nova had all the momentum, right? And they needed a bucket to kind of stop the bleeding. Cable was there. Yeah. Nathan also says the offense needs some work to get KY system down. Yeah, I agree. They said in the broadcast, it's very pro system. It's not a lot of, hey, you go here, this guy comes here. They occasionally will run some sets out of timeouts, or if they really need a bucket, right? But for the most part, it's like a player's, he trusts them to make the decisions, right? And so the action is more of a shell of an offense where they get to then decide. And there's certain options that they coach up on, obviously, and they tell them what it should look like. But he trusts these guys, right? And in those moments when it was like crunch time, it was your go-to play, which is going to clearly be a high ball screen set by Kada. He goes down, pins his guy, and lets him go to work. What was really impressive, and what is that pro style that we're talking about, is the third time they did it, right? AJ gets the bucket, then Rob gets the bucket, then they're running it again with AJ. Villanova had learned by that point. Both guys fought over the screen, get to it. AJ is able to spin, go to his left hand, finish it. Like, that's the type of stuff that you want to see, is when they do figure it out, right? This basic action, what are you going to do as a playmaker to go get a bucket? And at this point, there's not much better than AJ Devonsta in all of college hoops, and especially at BYU. It's so fun to watch. Nathan also says, we asked for more non-con adversity. Can't complain too much when we're getting that. Yeah, absolutely. I just think it was awesome. Like, I think everyone was watching. First day of college basketball, the two best games were by far, obviously, Florida Arizona, which was an insane game. Arizona looks awesome, and it's gonna be so fun playing them twice. And then this one was, BYU Nova right after, and people going on the TNT. I think it's fun. I think people were missing TNT for NBA broadcasts, and so seeing them be college broadcasts, listening to Brian Anderson and Grant Hill, I think was missed in the pro game, and now being able to do it in college was a little bit fun. I think it was a good chance for BYU to show who they are, to play a real team that had real stakes, that really mattered, that really tested them. Um, and you're absolutely right, Nathan. We asked for it. Can't can't ask for much more, right? Shout out my guy Ronald Weaver. You all got to know this guy. It says Keita specifically was phenomenal. His defense gave BYU the energy down the stretch. Him stealing to the paint to allow AJ and Rob, right, is something that will go unnoticed. Yeah, I agree. Hopefully I gave it its flowers. I mean, we'll talk about it again when Carter comes on here, because he's not listening, and he'll come make a lot of the same points. The problem with this podcast, people, Carter and I agree too much. We have the same mind sometimes. Like every point that I'm making, he's gonna want to make too. And obviously that was evident in our live last time when I came on late. But you'll see it. You'll see. Anyone who's in here is listening now, and he's gonna stick through to when Carter's given. Remember, I said right now he's gonna want to make the same points that I made. And I'll give you a little wink. You'll know what I'm talking about. But shout out Rondo, because he's absolutely right. That stuff was huge. And it was like the closeouts from Boo Davis. It was the rebounding from Rob Wright at the very end of the game when the balls were being tipped like left and right. Like it was a weird rebounding game. I think weird rebounded. You look at the stats here. BYU had. Let's get to the split box here. BYU had a total of 43 rebounds. Nova 49, so they're out rebounding BYU by a little bit. I think offensive rebounds, they out rebounded them by 5 here. There was just a weird, like, Nova took a lot of threes, and to be honest, they were clinking a lot of those threes. So long shots lead to long rebounds. A lot of just like tipped, bouncy balls that were going every which way, and it gave honestly Nova a lot of points. That a lot of, I don't want to say lucky, but a lot of just chance. Like, hey, the ball's bouncing this way, they're able to get it back on a second possession. And so BYU being able to finally lock that down in the moments that mattered right there in the last 2 minutes, huge. And grabbing those rebounds, and that comes from the guards crashing, right? Because you have the front court, you have your Keita, your Mood Davises, your Mboops of the world, your Boskoviches of the world, who are going out there grinding with the center, but they're kind of covering just a 5-foot radius, like around the basket, where most balls are going to bounce off a missed shot. But then you have those long rebounds, right? And that's why they're so dangerous as a defense, because you typically have the guards of the offense hanging around a little bit, the guy following his shot, whatever. And so it's up to the guards of the defense to also crash the boards. And when Rob Wright was able to do that, get those boards, Richie Saunders, like big hustle boards, that was huge. Something big that shout out Tater Coog says Kid is the 13th apostle. He's a gift, man. And this is not the last time we talk about Kid tonight. That's for dang sure. Something that I thought was super interesting and honestly like really big. First off, Kevin Young subs, like his life depends on it. I love it about him, and it works. I think tonight maybe it was a little too much, but I also think it was like super exploratory. I mean, I swear every single ball stoppage, BYU was subbing. It was let's get someone else in here. I mean, every single time until about the 6, maybe 5.5 minute mark, it was starters only, strictly. And that's when Nova had just gone on their run. They had taken the lead, right? And we're all sitting on our couches thinking this can't be happening, whatever. Kevin Young says, "All right, I have my 5. Going Rob, Moo, Richie, AJ, and Kaba, and we're gonna run it, and we're gonna win this basketball game. We know how to do it. We're locked in." And that's what they did. I mean, they did. Those guys didn't take a break until the very end, right? He wanted to go a little offense, defense there, taking Cave out and Rob to play D, and then obviously subbing the shooters in for the free throws, whatever. But until the game was really pretty much put out of the way, it was those 5, and they just went and ran it. And that was that flawless run that BYU had. They went 8-0 run and put the game away. And so I thought it was interesting that Kevin Young tried out a lot of different lineups. He let dudes run. Yeah, it was deep, but also at the same time, we still didn't see, we didn't see Diamande get any tick. We didn't see Kostic get any tick, right? We saw Xavier for 2 minutes, and then it was like, I guess that's not the game plan. We saw Boscovich in the first half, hardly at all in the second half. It seems like as the game went on, it just got tighter and tighter and tighter until we started to realize and really figure out exactly what this team needed for this specific game. I mean, it can always be different, right? But playing the starters and taking it seriously, of course you're going to take it seriously, but locking in and being like, this is where we win the game. This is where it's crunch time. This is where you need to play your best players, and he did it, and he wasn't afraid to do it. And I didn't think he would be, but I was just so like he was subbing every time. Every time there was a dead ball, he was getting dudes in there, and I don't know exact reason for that. I don't know exact philosophy behind it. I think a lot of it has to do with him probably just figuring things out right now. It's this team's so new to each other, and so fresh in what they're trying to do and learn, right? But I think as the season goes on, it's going to tighten up, and it did in crunch time. Kevin Young did show us like I'm not subbing just to sub, I'm also subbing to win the game here, and that's what it did. Uh, Looks like we got Carter attempting to join our chat here. Looks like he might be having some technical issues, so I'm gonna keep going until he's able to lock in. Ben Hammond, shout out Ben Hammond, shout out. Ben Hammond says, interesting to see what the rotation looks like right now. Yeah, especially since what did it even look like right now? Yeah, Carter, we in? Nope, man. Looks like he's having a time. Yeah, it's a good question, Ben. I mean, what everyone put in the chat. What do you think? I mean, obviously the 5 is locked in. The 5, like we saw it at the last 5 minutes of that game. The 5 was locked in. They all played a massive part individually. Rob being the point guard, AJ getting points. You have Kaba and everything that he did. What we talked about defensively, offensively, he was awesome. Moo Davis on the defensive end, like just shadowing. Right? Was it Lindsay? Was massive, huge, and then Richie was doing Richie things. He still hasn't had that breakout game from 3. It's the first freaking game. What am I talking about? I'm including the exhibitions in this, but that's the 5. Who's the 6th man on this team right now? Gotta say him, Boop, right? Kevin Young loves to get the 5s out earlier than later, and Boop, Dawson Baker. It was good to see him back, and obviously Kevin Young trusts him, right? But other than that, I mean, that's got to kind of be your rotation right there. In like a really tight rotation, he's going to try other people, right? Boscovich will continue to get minutes. And maybe Xavier, Tyler Mross. At least that's what he tried this game. But those seems like the tight 7 that you really want hanging out in a big game.
Can
Carter,
you
how
hear
are we
me?
doing? Yes,
Can you
we
hear
can
me?
hear you. We can
There
hear
we
you.
go. Does it sound
Let's
okay?
go. It sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
Got
We're
that mic
locked in.
going.
It took a minute to set this up. Let's go, dude.
Let's
What
go.
what a weird, ugly win. I haven't been
No.
able to dive too much into the chat. We're sitting here doing
Oh man. Carter, I don't know. I can't hear you. Don't know if you can hear me. I'm gonna keep talking a little bit till you get to maybe a little bit stabler connection because we gotta keep this rolling. I was gonna read Nathan's thing real quick before Carter helps it back in here. He says, I think Xavier got some time because we're in his hometown, but they weren't great minutes. Unfortunately, he has so much potential. It's a good catch, Nathan. I didn't even think about that. Good catch. That's why we have you. That is cool for him to get to play. Hopefully, he had a lot of family. I'm sure he had a lot of people
All
support
right.
him there.
Are we actually good this time?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. You're good.
There we go. The problem is I was near the locker rooms and it goes out when you're in there. But how's the solo show going?
It's solo. You know what I mean. I'm just out here monologuing. Talking with the
Feel my
chat.
feel my pain. Feel my pain. You know how brutal it is. I was monologuing. Chase, I'm still here. It is 12:43 on the East Coast.
When'd you get
I've been
there?
I g- we got here at 6 a.m. It's crazy. We're still here. College basketball all day. Unbelievable. It is so awesome to have college basketball back.
It is.
Let's just get right into it with the BYU takes because I'm sure you've been going live for long enough. So I'm not going to keep you up too much because you're on the East Coast too.
I am. Yeah, it's 12:45 over here. So
Yeah, I get it. I get it. All right. Real quick. Chase, I tweeted it out. I texted you about it.
yeah, I was waiting for
This
you.
the story of the second half was one entire assist. One. One assist for BYU in the entire second half of this ball game. That encapsulates everything about this game and how the difference of two halves and the offense, the flow and the motion was completely gone. Chase, honestly, like I understand the plus minus isn't going to back it up, and I know he missed a lot of layups today. The offense without Rob Wright, like I'm not going to sit here and pretend I love the Dawson Baker at the point guard minutes or Nate Pickens needs to come back soon. It's an issue. The second unit needs someone to be able to run the show, and I don't trust anybody out there to do it necessarily.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Carter. It's bad without him. A- And I like you said, he missed the bunnies, but everything else just revolves when he's in the offense. I feel so much safer. It's like when you let your teenager drive, for the first time,
Hmm.
and you're like, I know they're gonna be fine. Like it's not that difficult driving a car, but it's clunky and it's weird, and I just feel safer when someone else is doing it. And when Rob Wright's out there, just bringing the ball up, you just know that the offense is going to get to where it needs to be. It's not perfect every time, and obviously, dude, I mean, you missed like he missed 10,
There
inside the paint.
there was wide open. Like I'm sure every BYU fan, like I'm sure you've said it 1,000 times already on this show about Rob Wright missing bunnies, and then also watching this game. BYU should have handled this game and put this game away by 15, 20 plus. And we felt that way about the Carolina game. And that's something that's gonna happen throughout the year. And the defense still had some things I didn't necessarily love. And luckily Villanova wasn't able to expose it too much. Man, there's some work to get done before they play UConn next week.
Yeah, big time. I thought the defense was better though, Carter. Like I
It
really, I really liked the rotations, and I really liked the way they were able to handle the ball screen, especially in the second half. Obviously, they let Lindsay get away from them from three.
yeah,
That dude was a flamethrower. But when they really locked in and they put Moo on him as like shadowing, it. I really thought, fr- from what we've seen, it was a massive improvement defensively.
agreed. But I want to go back and watch the film though. I'm gonna do I'm
I
gonna
feel
do
like,
coach speak right now.
yeah, well, let's get you on the film. You also like
Yeah.
you've had a really busy night, so
I watched the whole thing. I didn't miss a thing. Don't
I
worry.
know, but you were multitasking a little bit. I'm not saying you don't know what you're talking about, but
Oh, yeah, I think that
I'm
is what you're
saying
talking about.
no. I'm just saying we'll watch the film. We'll get in the room. We'll get in the film room.
Uh, uh, yeah, we'll get in the film room. A couple more things, and then I don't know how long you want to go. I'm good for whatever. But Kaba Keita, animal, just an animal. This guy. I mean, the SWAT, that sequence was just. How many players in college basketball are capable of that?
I mean, you can count them on your hands. I, to be completely honest with you,
It was it,
we
it
saw a
was
cat
insane.
in that gym, a couple hours before BYU took it that I think is up there. But
That's fair.
as far as Kaba goes, he's truly is one of one in the good and the bad. But tonight he just showcased all the good. It was fun hearing like the broadcast. I don't know if you got to watch on sound. It was really fun watching the broadcast like gush over him and be like, "Holy crap, look at this guy!" Because he deserves it, man. He works super hard, and obviously he does all the dirty stuff, the dirty work, I should say, that goes unnoticed. And so to hear and kind of have America see just how insane this dude is as an athlete, as a basketball player, was actually super gratifying. And he was awesome tonight.
Yes, he was. And AJ being efficient was awesome tonight. 21 points, 9 of 18, 6 rebounds. Especially in that first half, Chase, I loved how he was playing off the ball in the flow of the offense, being able to kick it out to guys, dish it out, and just everything looked so much more smooth. And then in the second half, man, I don't know what changed. And
I,
he stepped it up in the second half. Like, he was awesome.
he was
And
awesome.
that's the thing with getting a guy like AJ in. It's that's something BYU's never had before, where it's everything does break down. You have that safety blanket, but we've seen that with teams in the NBA, like the Orlando Magic, when things break down a little too often, and then it's like, Paolo, save us.
Yeah. What's interesting, like they went on, they got that 14-point lead, and we're all thinking, we're like, all right, this is it. They look really good. They're smothering on defense now, causing turnovers. They're getting to the paint, touching it, and then it just really slowed. I honestly think Carter's just missed shots. They only turned the ball over 4 times all night. That's it. So it's not like they were, throwing away possessions. They were legit just missing shots left
Which
and right.
which yeah, which might as well be turnovers at that point, especially if you're missing wide open layups left and right.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, miss free throws. We're back
Oh my gosh.
missing key critical free throws in big moments of the games. And this one's on you, Chase, and you know it is. You know it is, because after game 1 of the Nebraska game, you go, "Oh, BYU fixed this free throw shooting problem. We're all good now." And since Carolina and now BYU's back to having a free throw shooting problem.
I think I knocked on wood. I was trying to jinx that.
Fake wood, vinyl.
No,
I'll
you're
knock
right.
on some real wood right now.
What?
We're still.
Oh man, you got a ball with you? Can we see some good shots get up?
I got enough shots up in the last 2 days.
Dang,
I'm good. And
dang.
hey, we had the rims lowered. We were able to get a dunk in. It's all good.
All right. Colin,
But
I want to read some chat real quick while you're here.
yeah, go for it.
We got some people. First off, Nathan's been carrying the chat. He's been awesome.
Hot takes. Let's go.
As always. He said I was killing it solo show. And
Let's
I don't
go.
think he's just saying that either. I think he's being super honest.
I believe him. I believe him. Let's go.
Hey, he goes, hey, at least we aren't going under on every screen, which I think, again, great take. Obviously very important. And it was huge, containing Lindsay there in the second half. He says, quote, a massive improvement defensively, end quote, is unfortunately a low bar. Which
Yeah, and at the same time too, it's also like, how good is this Villanova team offensively? That's the honest question you kind of have to ask.
yeah, it's not
But
great.
that's a film question, Chase. That's why we get back in the film room.
It's a film. Yeah, that's why we'll be back recording in just a few days. Our guy Eli says, good thing Mark Sears wasn't in a Nova jersey. Yeah, good thing.
Yep.
It's a good thing they never have to see Mark Sears again.
Also, good thing Mark Sears doesn't have to see Moo Davis.
Facts. Bar.
Boom.
Bar. Jinx on YouTube says, after the way last season ended, am I crazy for being surprised we got more athletic, but still can't guard the 3-point line? And then he goes, pop quiz. Should the wing defender go under a Lindsey Ball screen?
Ideally, no, when he's shooting like that.
Ideally, no. Normally, I mean, you don't feel awful about Lindsey taking a bunch of threes. He went nuclear in the second half.
Yeah.
And then we got Sam. Says, after this game, I feel like AJ is the best player, but Rob Wright will be the most important. Gosh dang it, he's right.
Yeah, well, to piggyback off that, I would say AJ is. Yeah, I would say he's the best player, but I would definitely say. I was gonna see how long I can play it off. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late for these jokes, chat. It's too late.
It's never too late for these jokes. That was great. Shout out Sam.
We're almost at 24 hours of this thing. Hey, and then next year it's probably going to be 24 hours of this thing. My goodness.
Jaden Adams on Twitter says, even though it got close, I never thought we were going to lose this game. You're better than Carter, because he texted me saying, it's over. It's over.
No, Chase, you know what that was? That was a reverse jinx. You know we've done this before. You do it all the time, too. I can pull receipts, too. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we're classic reverse jinxers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carter did text me, though. He said Jover.
Yeah. When it got close there, I'm not going to sit here and say I thought BYU could lose that game for sure. Because my issue was, Like, normally I would agree with Jaden on that one, but the problem is I think, how do I want to put this? Nova had no pressure. Nova had no
Yeah.
pressure in this game. They're playing with house money at this point. They're a 10-point dog coming into this one. BYU's a minus 500 favorite coming into this game. All the pressure's on BYU
Yeah. No, I
and on
totally
young
agree.
guys who haven't really played together.
Yeah, and I think they like I was saying this earlier when I was solo. I think they like saw also like all the crap about BYU and AJ and all this stuff, right? Big thing in Vegas, blah blah blah, and they were just like playing free. I will say I actually feel the same way as Jaden. I was like, there's no way they lose this, mostly because I didn't think Nova could guard these dudes. Like
Yeah.
I and they couldn't. BYU was just missing shots and beating themselves. Again, only 4 turnovers. Like Nova was not killing these dudes defensively. Rob got to the paint literally whenever he wanted. So did Richie. So did AJ. And
Yeah.
so I was like, I think they could. They're gonna win this if they just go and take smart shots and then literally just freaking rebound. Don't let Lindsay shoot it. That's all you need to do, right? And they did, and that's a dub. So our guy Jack finally made it. Finally made it. He says
Let's go.
late to the party. Have we done the AJ Rob Wright bit yet? Yeah, Sam
Yes,
beat you,
yes.
baby dog.
Yeah,
Sam beat you.
people have been doing the bit. This is gonna be an all season thing.
Yeah,
I have no, Jack has no idea what he's created.
he has no idea. I then he says, took a couple punches and responded really well. Easy stretch coming to fine tune the rotation.
Yep, 1,000% agree.
As always, Jack. And our guy Nathan says, will our one and done struggle with free throws every year? Man, yeah, Yegor was
Well,
shaky from the line last year.
but that's a great point too, because we've seen this with all these one and done teams. Kentucky struggled with this year after year. In the Calipari era, Duke has struggled with this year after year when Kay was starting to bring in guys with and Shire as well. Like that's pretty typical for freshmen.
Why do you think that is?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a pressure thing. You're not. I mean, the difference in playing in a AAU tournament and then playing in front of 20,000 fans and millions of people watching is a little bit different. Like, that's the only thing I'd probably attribute it to.
Yeah, it's weird because I know these guys work on it a ton. Like AJ shoots them like crazy. I mean, they all do. They
But
all
like
do.
even like big guys in the NBA work on it a ton, and like Mason Plumlee's still shooting 50% from the free throw line. He could be putting up 500 a day. Some dudes just don't have it.
He's not a shooter though. Like these guys are,
Yeah,
you know.
but and that was a frustrating thing with Rob Wright when you have a scoring guard and he's missing critical free throws. That was frustrating.
Yeah, that was frustrating for sure. And like missing the front ends of one-on-one, killer.
Can I be positive though? Because I feel like I've been a little negative.
Please, I mean, the game they won.
They won the freaking game. That's all that matters at this point.
Oh no.
Figure it out, and then
Oh,
you
there
got
we
a
go.
chance. You got a huge chance to go beat UConn in Boston next Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm excited. I'm excited to dive into the UConn tape and dissect them a little bit because I watched a tiny bit of UConn stuff. I'm ready to dive into the full UConn stuff and figure out where BYU can attack them.
All right. Well, we can't wait. We're double film. We're going BYU film. We're going UConn film. You know we'll have everyone ready for the previews. Let's get back to the chat. It's doing well. Sup, Richard? Nice pick, dog. Thanks for tuning in. Our guy Sam says I felt the same way. It felt like our guys just needed to lock in at the end, and they did. And they absolutely did. And I talked about Carter.
Go ahead.
Sorry, he kept KY subbed every single ball stoppage. It's felt like until the last 6 minutes. It was like starting five, and I'm sticking with you. Like that was it. And they played almost perfect basketball from that point on.
It's preseason and then a first regular season game. You just don't want that to be a trend of, okay, this is a game you definitely should have won. Then you're going to keep letting them hang around and be in it. Oh, all of a sudden it's a super tight game. And then you have to lock in. Like, you want to see BYU pull away against these teams that that BYU is more talented than.
Yeah, and we don't want to sugarcoat it or just glaze. That absolutely they need to be better. Like this should have been a 20-point win. It wasn't. So
Mhm.
whatever. You take what you take. A win's a win. Probably be quad 2 by the end of the season, maybe quad 1. See how Villanova does. But they got it. There's a lot of things to improve on. That's why they go and practice. They also know this. Um, Jack says, guys that go to young boy NBA concerts together win basketball games together. Can't believe Carter doubted. And then he says, any word on Caba's injury? And then Eli responded to Jack, says, just got kicked in the shin. It's all good. Yeah, it looked like he was fine. He just got a little stinger and was just walking it off there at the end.
Yeah. I wasn't able to see any tweets or anything or afterwards. So
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet, but I don't think it was anything serious at all.
we're still busy in Rock Hill. I feel bad. I need to go help them finish up and clean up here. They're waiting for me to get out of here. So,
Well, you call it whenever you want, Carter.
well, I mean, you can keep going if you want, but let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up because I gotta go. It's
Okay.
1 a.m.
All right. I want to get to everyone's chats real quick. And
Yeah, go
we're
for it.
almost done. We're going. Jinx says, is Baker this year's Cannon Catchings playing too much to start the year and the team takes a step when this year's Moet Mag takes his minutes? Is Dom Diamande this year's Moet Mag?
Okay, back to the Baker Cannon Catchings thing. Put that in the tickler file. I might be down with that take, but let's give it some time.
We'll revisit that. The theory is out there. We will remember. I promise you that. Nathan says KY cares about a lot of stats, but the stats he cares about most is 1-0. You're absolutely right. 1-0 is huge.
Me too. Me too. I'm a winning guy, Chase. The Panthers winning record, winning season, 5-4. BYU 1-0. BYU football 8-0. Just a winning guy, man.
All about wins.
Yep.
Nathan says, I thought Dom might fight for Moo's starting spot, but Moo pulled away early.
Yep.
Moo was super good tonight. He hit threes when he needed to. Played awesome defense as always. Sam says, Kaba had to walk up to the top of the concourse for his post-game interview. He didn't say anything. FYI. That's good to hear. Appreciate it.
Love it.
Appreciate you guys. And Carter, you ready to get out of Rock Hill, South Carolina?
No, I'm good. I can't sit here to sit still. I gotta hold the phone up and everything. It's weird because I'm like sitting here at mid court. So
yeah, I mean, what a place to pod, though. Am I right?
what a place! I mean, hey, we were here I will be here for the very beginning of the college basketball season and the very end.
That's special.
Yeah, and BYU better be playing at the very end.
They better be. They're not. They need to be better to get to there, but we'll be there. We'll be there.
But shout out Rock Hill, South Carolina. Shout out the Field of 68. I hope people were able to tune in. It was a few good games today.
It really was. If you didn't watch any of the Field 68 stuff, I mean, highly recommend getting on that because, man, I mean, even just kick it off the bat. Queens Winthrop was an absolute battle, Carter.
8 a.m. brutal. I mean, I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. I go, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is awful. Got to the arena, juiced up, and that Queens team was just fire and ready to roll. Fortunately, not enough to get it done today. Too many turnovers, but we don't need to dive into Queens and Winthrop and all these other games. That's for Jeff and all them to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, college basketball, man.
It's back, baby. It's back.
And it's special.
Let's ready to roll. Let's freaking go. I'm so excited. BYU's 1-0. BYU football's 1-0 or 8-0. I mean, Chase, and also last thing before we go, unbelievable kickoff time, tip-off time for next Saturday. 5 p.m. Mountain. You got BYU UConn rolling into 8:15. And hey, in that time frame, we're gonna be going live in between. I'll be coming live from Boston. I'm hoping we can get someone on the show after that one if BYU wins. I would love to get a post-game interview with that. And then we got 8:15 right after that, BYU TCU. Whew.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah, I got to find a good place to watch this BYU TCU game when I get to Boston.
Yeah,
plenty of BYU sports bars in Boston.
Yeah, you definitely won't have to ask the bartender to change the game. Did you see GFED? People are wondering. You saw GFED at the game.
I think I might end up being in a GFED video. It was a weird cameo. I'm not gonna lie to you. So a little teaser for that there. It was awkward because he was like, "Here you go, Carter," and just handed me a mic with Goodman. And so Yeah, it was Jeff and I, like a weird little side hit thing. I think it'll be on the YouTube channel. I was with GFed all day today. He's the man. I love GFed.
Good dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so a little teaser for the video. They had him play knockout at the halftime against some middle school and high school kids. Let's just say it did not go well for old GFed. Not a bad jumper though. Not like the worst jumper ever. So,
all right.
Not going to disrespect my guy, but getting plenty of jumpers up in here. Awesome time here. But yeah, I'm ready to go home, Chase.
I'm ready to go home too. Nathan says, "Happy we're back. Go Cougs. Let's play in April."
Let's go. Let's play in April, baby. Let's play in April. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the live. We love y'all. We'll see y'all later this week for the regular scheduled programming because we are fully back in swing, Carter. It is us.
We're back. Chase, did you give him a good "we're live" at the beginning?
I don't think I did. I think everyone.
Gosh, you choked. You blew it.
Everyone's asleep in this house, so I'm trying to be a little respectful.
Man, wake up the 10-month-old baby. Who cares? We're live. It's that easy. I'm sitting here doing it at 1 a.m. in the empty arena right now.
Well, because it's empty arena.
Yeah. I would do if I
anyone
had a newborn,
can say we're live in an empty arena.
My wife knows if we have a newborn baby, I'm sitting there saying it at 1 a.m. doing these post games. Don't you worry.
Yeah, well, and my wife is she can't fall asleep right now because of me. So
yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. So anyhow, all right, let's get out of here.
All right, thanks for tuning in, y'all. We'll catch y'all next time. Here we'll do the Carter. Bye-bye.